Sometimes what kills you isn't what the doctors are paid to look for. 20 doctors couldn't save the billionaire. The woman who mopped their floors saw what they missed. Victor Blackwell lay dying in his $4 million hospital suite, surrounded by machines that beeped with artificial calm. The ultra-luxury wing of Johns Hopkins Medical Center barely resembled a hospital at all. Mahogany wall panels concealed medical equipment. Soft amber lighting replaced harsh fluorescence. Privacy was absolute, purchased at a price only a tech titan could afford. Yet none of it could stop the steady deterioration happening beneath Victor Blackwell's skin. Specialists rotated through the room day and night. Hepatologists, neurologists, immunologists, each with world-class credentials, each leaving with a deeper frown than the last. Liver function was failing. Neurological symptoms were worsening. Hair loss had accelerated dramatically. Abdominal pain came in waves that medication barely touched. No diagnosis fit cleanly. Every test contradicted the last. Death crept closer, while brilliance argued with itself. Angela Beaumont entered the suite silently, her cleaning cart rolling softly across the polished floor. Night shift meant fewer eyes, fewer interruptions. That suited her just fine. At 38, Angela moved with quiet efficiency. Years of necessity had shaped her habits. Single mother, night worker, invisible. She inhaled a familiar blend of antiseptic and expensive cologne, and then something else. Metallic. Wrong. Her hand paused mid-wipe. Angela's chemistry-trained mind snapped to attention. She scanned Victor Blackwell with a gaze sharpened by years of unnoticed observation. Yellowing fingernails, not dramatic but unmistakable. A specific pattern of hair loss, uneven and progressing rapidly. Subtle discoloration along the gums. Peripheral tremors masked as weakness. Her pulse quickened. The answer formed with terrifying clarity. She knew exactly what was killing him. 10 feet away, Dr. Thaddeus Reynolds addressed a semicircle of specialists. Silver-haired, Harvard-educated. His voice never needed volume to command attention. "We've exhausted conventional pathways," Reynolds said calmly. "Mr. Blackwell's presentation defies standard diagnostic models. His liver continues to deteriorate. Neurological impairment is accelerating. We must consider more exotic etiologies." Angela kept her head down, but her ears were open. She had learned that skill long ago, in college lecture halls, before life intervened. 15 years earlier, Angela Beaumont had been a rising star in the chemistry department, scholarship student, honors track, toxicology research assistant. Then her parents died in a sudden accident, leaving 3 younger siblings behind. She withdrew mid-semester, promising herself she would return. She never did. "Cleaning staff needs to finish quickly," Dr. Reynolds said, noticing her presence without truly seeing her. "We have important matters to discuss." Angela nodded, face neutral, swallowing the familiar sting. They saw the uniform, not the mind inside it. As she dusted, her eyes flicked to Blackwell's chart. Symptoms scattered across categories: neuropathy, gastrointestinal distress, alopecia, treated as separate problems instead of parts of a whole. A classic mistake. Reynolds brushed past her without acknowledgement. "That's why you don't see it," she thought. "Because you never see me." Her gaze shifted to the bathroom counter. Luxury grooming products lined up with obsessive precision. One item stood out: an imported hand cream in an elegant black jar. Its position had changed since yesterday. Angela filed the detail away. In chemistry, inconsistencies mattered. The suite door opened again. A sharply dressed man entered, visitor badge clipped to his tailored jacket. Jefferson Burke. Angela recognized him instantly from business magazines. Former rival. Now, suddenly, devoted friend. "I brought Victor's favorite hand cream," Burke said smoothly, placing the black jar prominently on the nightstand. "Imported from Switzerland. He insists it's the only thing that doesn't irritate his skin." Angela watched how carefully he positioned it. Too carefully. Later that night, Angela overheard 2 residents whispering near the nurse's station. "Strangest case I've ever seen," one said. "It's like multiple diseases at once." "Reynolds thinks autoimmune cascade," the other replied. "But the labs don't line up." Angela's thoughts raced. The symptoms, the decline, the hand cream. A hypothesis formed, but she needed confirmation. That night, she adjusted her cleaning schedule to include Blackwell's room during his sleep. She memorized new chart updates. Each symptom reinforced her conclusion. By the end of her shift, certainty had replaced doubt. "They don't see me," Angela whispered to her reflection in the employee bathroom mirror. "But I see everything." At 2:17 a.m., alarms shattered the silence. Code blue. Doctors rushed past Angela as she froze in the hallway. Through the partially open door, she watched the room erupt into controlled chaos. Liver enzymes critical. Kidney function dropping. Neurological response diminished. Dr. Reynolds took command instantly. Full toxicology panel. Again. Could it be environmental? A younger physician asked cautiously. Food, water, personal products? Reynolds dismissed him with a glance. "We've tested this room twice. Focus on medicine, not amateur detective work." Angela's jaw tightened. As the crisis stabilized, she slipped into the room. Her eyes went straight to the nightstand. The hand cream. She examined Blackwell's nails again. The pattern was unmistakable. A lecture from years ago surfaced vividly in her mind. Heavy metal poisoning. Specifically, thallium. Her breath caught. The perfect poison. Colorless. Odorless. Absorbed through skin. Mimics countless conditions unless specifically sought. Could 20 specialists miss something so textbook? Angela approached Sarah, a night nurse she knew. "Has anyone tested Mr. Blackwell for thallium poisoning?" Angela asked quietly. "The symptoms match exactly." Sarah's expression cooled instantly. "Angela, these are the best doctors in the country." The unspoken message was clear. Leave medicine to doctors. Angela stepped back, humiliation burning her cheeks, but certainty anchored her spine. Someone was poisoning Victor Blackwell, and no one was listening. As she wheeled her cart down the corridor, Angela understood the truth with painful clarity. If she stayed invisible, he would die. If she spoke up, she might lose everything. At home, after putting her children to bed, Angela pulled out an old toxicology textbook. The chapter confirmed every detail. Thallium. The next morning, Jefferson Burke arrived again, with another jar of hand cream. Angela watched him insist to be used. Perfect delivery system. Victor Blackwell was running out of time. Angela made a decision. She would force them to see what they had missed, even if it cost her everything. Victor Blackwell deteriorated by the hour. Angela tracked his decline through overheard conversations, fleeting glances at updated charts, and the subtle shift in urgency among the nurses. His speech had begun to slur. The neuropathy had climbed higher, stealing fine motor control. His hair loss accelerated in uneven patches, another unmistakable marker. During her break, Angela used a public hospital computer. She searched deliberately, carefully. Every medical source confirmed it. Thallium poisoning. Classic presentation. Rare. Often missed. Almost never considered in modern hospitals, unless someone specifically looked for it. She scribbled a note on hospital stationery. Check for thallium poisoning. Classic presentation. She slipped it onto Dr. Reynolds' clipboard while cleaning his office. The next morning, she arrived early and lingered near the conference room. Through the partially open door, she heard Reynolds' voice, sharp with amusement. "And apparently," he said, "our cleaning staff has diagnostic opinions." Laughter rippled through the room. Someone left an anonymous note suggesting thallium poisoning. "We already tested for heavy metals," another doctor replied. "Exactly," Reynolds said dismissively. Cleaning staff playing detective. Angela's hands clenched around her cart. The patient's life mattered more than her pride. She tried again with Dr. Park, a younger physician who had questioned Reynolds during the code blue. "Excuse me," Angela said quietly. "I believe Mr. Blackwell is being poisoned with thallium. The symptoms." "That's an interesting theory," Park interrupted, already stepping away. "But we've covered that. Standard tests might miss gradual exposure," Angela tried to say. He was already gone. That evening, security approached her. "Miss Beaumont, You've been reported for interfering with medical matters. Consider this a warning." Angela nodded. That night, alone in the break room, she made her choice. Victor Blackwell had days, maybe hours. Her job could be replaced. His life could not. Jefferson Burke visited again the next afternoon. 15 minutes. Same routine. Same hand cream. Same insistence that it be applied generously for comfort. Angela observed from a hallway. When the room was briefly unattended during shift change, she acted with practice calm. She transferred a small amount of cream into a sterile specimen container from the supply room. It disappeared into her pocket. At home that night, Angela spread her materials across the kitchen table. Old textbooks, notes, printed journal articles. Her children slept in the next room, unaware their mother was preparing to challenge an entire medical institution. Thallium, absorbed through skin. Slow, cumulative, the perfect crime. Unless someone knew what to look for. Angela arrived early the next morning with innocent-looking supplies, aluminum foil, baking soda, cleaning solutions. In a maintenance closet, she worked quickly, hands steady. The test was crude, but sound. The result was unmistakable. Positive for thallium. She photographed everything. Then she checked visitor logs. Jefferson Burke. Regular visits. Perfect alignment with symptom escalation. At 2 p.m., Angela learned all specialists were gathering in Blackwell's suite. His condition had reached critical levels. Now or never. She straightened her uniform, gathered her evidence, and walked into a room without waiting for permission. 20 doctors turned toward her. "This is a closed conference," Dr. Reynolds snapped. "Mr. Blackwell is dying of thallium poisoning," Angela said clearly, "and I can prove it." Security was mentioned. She didn't stop. She laid everything out. Symptoms, timelines, visitor logs, test results. Her voice was calm, precise, scientific. Progressive neuropathy, alopecia, abdominal pain, cognitive decline. Textbook, the hand cream, absorption through skin. Sublethal doses accumulating over months. Silence fell. Dr. Park leaned forward. "This actually explains everything." Another specialist nodded slowly. Focus testing was ordered. Minutes later, confirmation arrived. Thallium, significant levels. The room erupted into controlled chaos. Prussian blue was administered immediately. Security footage was pulled. FBI contacted. Victor Blackwell stabilized for the first time in weeks. Dr. Reynolds approached Angela, shaken. "How did you see what we missed?" "I'm invisible," she said simply. "I observe." When Blackwell regained consciousness hours later, Reynolds told the truth. "This is Angela Beaumont. She solved it." Blackwell's weak eyes found her. "Thank you," he whispered. Applause filled the room. Angela stood taller. The investigation moved fast. Jefferson Burke was arrested. Corporate motives surfaced. The poisoning had been deliberate. Angela was treated not as staff, but as an expert. Within days, hospital dynamics shifted. Doctors nodded to her. Nurses smiled. Her invisibility was gone. Then Victor Blackwell called her to his office. He offered her everything she'd lost: education, opportunity, recognition, a full scholarship, living stipend, childcare, a position waiting. Angela accepted. 2 years later, she stood in a graduation gown, her children cheering. Dr. Beaumont, her journey from invisible to essential was complete, and she never forgot the lesson that saved a life. Sometimes the truth isn't missed because it's hidden. It's missed because no one thinks to look at the person who sees it.